But overnight, it seems the world has changed and we need to adapt with it. There is a huge growing population of people on these AI search engines, and your website is absolutely front and center with whether or not ChatGPT is going to say you're the best in your area or someone else. Let me introduce myself. My name is Christian Jones. I'm the CEO of TaxProMarketer, and I've got my colleague Noah Jenks here with me today. Noah, can you say hey?
Hey, good to be here with everybody.
Yeah, guys, we're glad to get to host this seminar. There's a lot of great information that we're going to go over here, and it's going to be a lot. And if you're here, it's because I know that you're at least interested in growing. Why would you take time out of your day to come be on a webinar and try and learn and dig in if that wasn't the case? So our goal today is to add a lot of value to the conversation for you guys, your firms, your growth, and what the rest of this year looks like. We do have a framing here of 4 critical strategies to drive revenue beyond tax season. So obviously tax season's a bit in the rearview mirror now. It's in the rearview mirror by a little bit, but I know some of you are still dealing with extensions. You're still dealing with the cleanup. I get it, right? But what we want to dig into is how do you build a marketing plan that, especially in the current environment, which is a really dynamic moment for the tax and accounting space, a really dynamic moment. How do we build your firm in such a way that you can reliably, predictably grow and drive revenue? So there's going to be 4 things we talk about today that I think are really worth your time. Here's the 4. So here's the menu for today. Restructuring your website to get found in Google and AI search. Harnessing the power of reviews and specifically through your Google business page. There's a lot there. Effectively running paid ads. And finally, email marketing to build trust and drive current client revenue, retention, engagement. There's a bunch of stuff with email marketing we'll get to at the end. But these are the 4 things: website, reviews in Google, paid ads, and email marketing. As a company, we do more than this, but these are things that I have found. I've been here for 10 years. I guess we'll get into my background here in a second, but I will just tell you, without these 4 components, you're not going to get as good results. Your ceiling for growth is going to be lowered and your business won't be able to scale as much as you'd like it to. These are 4 very safe but very powerful things to have a conversation on for the next hour. So again, a little bit more about me. I'm the CEO of TaxProMarketer. I've been here a decade, 14 years of experience though in the SEO small business world. I was a CPA practice advisor, 20 under 40, was a top presenter on CPA Academy, and TaxProMarketer is an Inc. 5000 business. I also host our podcast. I lead our team. My job is to teach, and Noah joins me. And so Noah, I'll let you intro yourself as well, and then we'll jump in.
Yeah, thanks, Christian. It's good to be here. I've been with TaxPro for, I think, going on 5 years now. I work directly with the firms and the firm owners to make sure they're getting good lead flow, prospecting, follow-up, making sure they have strategy once they come in. Okay, because all of this is, and we're going to talk a lot about this, marketing is an ecosystem. It has to be actively managed. You have to be proactive and stay in front of it. You have to have a lot of strategy going into this. We want to make sure we're turning this marketing idea, this marketing that we're doing, into real client conversion. That's the point of all of this.
Yeah. There's going to be some real case studies, guys, as we go, of clients we're serving right now from a website perspective, from an ads perspective, from other angles. I want to teach, but I also want to create clarity. This stuff does work for people right now that we're working with. And Noah is a huge part of that. He helps with our strategy as he described it. We've got other account managers, and we'll talk about, I will contrast us as a company against other providers throughout this, but the main thing is to teach, right? So it's tax season versus the rest of the year. Even if you're not that compliance oriented now, generally speaking, there's exceptions, but January to April is a slog. It's a grind. It's just a ton of work. For a lot of people, it's sleeplessness. It's compressed attention. From our angle, we get it. We understand. May to December is the time period to make changes in your digital marketing so that you get better prospects. You build trust with existing clients and you can generate demand beyond tax season, right? So again, some of you are experiencing this already, right? Like you're growing in and out of tax season. What I typically see is that people come out of the woodwork asking for your help December, January, March, April, May, right? Or not quite May, April, right? That's pretty standard. But most people we work with are saying, Christian, I want to get year-round clients. I want monthly clients. I want to be a tax planner. I'm a tax resolution specialist. I am doing fractional CFO work. I'm doing whatever, right? That's where a lot of our conversations are going. And so, how do we build your ecosystem to get you in front of those better prospects? That's what we're going to try and talk about. So, building visibility before the end of the year. There are leads coming through for our clients right now, but the bell curve is definitely towards Q4. Q4 is where you start to see a lot of people at the end of the year. They need, their books reviewed. They've been distracted. It's been the thing on their list they've neglected. We're getting tons of leads for our clients right now, but if you want to grow, again, the biggest opportunity happens Q4, Q1, and we've got time to build towards that. So that's why we're having this conversation now. We're trying to, for those that want to have it and those that are here, I think that's what you're wanting. How do I build my online ecosystem to get me in front of the ideal leads and have it actually be real, have it convert? So for us, marketing is a journey. We are not a website company. We are not an ads company. We are not a social media company. We're not a CRM company. We do all those things. But as a marketing agency that has a performance orientation, I think about the entire journey from getting found to closing. Marketing in its simplest form is a funnel. At the top of the funnel, you've got to get visible. That's step one. Where you get visible is part of what we'll talk about today. Your website, your Google page, ads. Then you want to build trust. Your reviews, your website, your Google business page, your social proof, your case studies, your content. Yes, social media too. And then 3, your marketing ecosystem needs to have a way to start a conversation. This is one of the biggest things that frustrates me, and one of the biggest things I always feel, I know, Noah, you feel it too, but like a burning desire to fix. Some people have a traffic problem, but a great conversion mechanism. I haven't met many of those people. Most people have a traffic and a conversion problem, which is to say, even if your website right now is getting a lot of traffic, and maybe some of you do, maybe some of you do have some good SEO, some good traffic, some good ranking on Google, or some ads that are working, Google or Facebook ads, that's great. The next conversation you need to have is, are you getting conversions? And are you asking the right questions? We'll talk about that today. And then finally, when it comes to marketing, once you've got a sale, how do we stay in front of them throughout the year? We want to reduce your attrition. We want to reduce people looking sideways at the next firm that's reaching out to them. We want to be more than a quarterly, once a year or twice a year, vendor or resource or accountant, right? We want to be an asset. We want to be someone adding value to our clients year round. So that's the journey. Get found, build trust, start a conversation, and stay in front of your clients and leads. These are, again, representative of what's a really traditional buyer path. Get visible, build confidence, take action, and then put things in place to retain the clients and leads that you've got and keep them engaged with you. I'm going to kick off our time with a poll question, and then we'll get into topic number 1, which is going to be on websites. But let's start with poll number 1 on websites specifically. So you should see a poll pop up before you. I'll let it sit here for about a minute. The question is, where do most of your new clients come from outside of tax season? You've got your website and your Google page. You've got ads, referrals, I don't know, or something else. You don't have to answer these, but it's going to help you guys, I think, engage with the content and just have a conversation with yourself. Like, where are your clients coming from? And maybe even more importantly, where are they not? And so we'll give this just maybe 10 or 15 more seconds. If you don't mind taking a second to answer this, it would help you, help us know who's in the room with us and how we can serve you. But I'm going to close this here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm ending that poll. Let's just take a quick peek. So I should be sharing my poll results with you. 45%, it's the website and Google page. 9%, it's ads. Over half of you, it's referrals. And about 20% of you, you're either not sure or it's something else. What I would like to suggest, referrals are great and other networking partnerships, arrangements are great. But there's usually for people a lot of low-hanging fruit around the website, Google page, and advertising. And so we want to sharpen our pencils a little bit regarding that with the next section. We want to talk about let me get the poll out of my face. There we go. We want to talk about how to structure your website, specifically to get found on Google and AI searches. So, hey, here's our first AI topic, right? It's a buzzword, it's all over the place, and it's also quite substantive. So right now, there's a seismic shift happening in marketing, not just the tax and accounting space, in marketing. Last year, what we would have talked about is the main place you need to show up is Google. And that has been the place for 10 years that I've been doing this. 10 years of talking to CPAs and accountants, tax planners and preparers. 10 years of telling tax resolution specialists, you need to dominate Google. That's still the case. But overnight, it seems the world has changed. And we need to adapt with it. There is a huge growing population of people on these AI search engines, and your website is absolutely front and center with whether or not ChatGPT is going to say you're the best in your area or someone else. How your website's built and structured. So we don't want to neglect Google, but we do want to start to talk about AI search and how to get found there. This is my classic line. This is the simplest way I can tell you, like as a marketer, what do I want your website to do? So we'll get technical from here, but from a high level perspective, your website is not about your open hours. It's not about listing your services. It's not about that photo of your team. It's about getting found by real viable leads and starting conversations with them that move towards an appointment, a call, a form that's filled out. Your website has to get visible and has to start a conversation. 99% of websites I see in our industry do not do that. They are usually cheap, $400 to $500 a month websites, sometimes $100 a month, or it's a website you built that's on Wix that you haven't touched for a couple of years. And if I'm reading your mail, I'm not mad at you and I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just telling you I've done this a lot and this is some low-hanging fruit. Most websites are not built to get found and they're not built to start a conversation. And again, back to AI, since 2025, look at these population bases. 400 plus million on Google Gemini, 700 plus million on ChatGPT, 2 billion AI overviews. And many of those people, the tax and accounting space has a tranche of this search of these users who are asking questions about their business. What to do on their taxes. Quarterly taxes are coming up. What do I do with this? I didn't file taxes last year. What do I do with that? There's tons of people that are using these resources, but they're not going to necessarily do the work themselves. AI is just getting us better answers. It's getting us better context, right? Instead of just doing a blind Google search and getting like a link to a website and whatever it may be, now ChatGPT is giving us answers. Gemini, Claude, they're giving us answers. The AI overviews are giving us summaries. And so we want to get in front of those people that are asking these questions related to tax, accounting, bookkeeping, tax resolution work. We want to build your website so that you're showing up. So now let's get tactical. Restructuring your website, rebuilding your website. Here's the structure on every page, especially your blogs, especially your topical points of conversation that you want to get after. You want to have real great headings that address the questions that people are asking on ChatGPT or Google. You want to provide quick answers and TLDRs with key takeaways, FAQs, and a clear next step. So here's an example. One blog we did in May about the tariff refund claim, how to file and claim that tariff refund. And then here's what the page looks like. There's the quick answer. There's key takeaways, useful context. Then we go down to the FAQ and the next step. So I'm not going to belabor this point, but I'm just giving you this is how you play the game. And this is not how anyone is playing the game by and large. Those that are hitting the gold rush, right? Back when, when was it? Like the 1840s or whatever, there's a gold rush out west. It's not that everyone made money doing that, but those that got on their wagons first and, struck out west and went to the actual places where there was gold, not all the people that actually, tried to bandwagon later on and just wasted money and time. The people that move quickly and build their site this way, they're going to really profit this year. Because again, go to where the people are. Your people are on ChatGPT. They're also on Google still. They might also be in other places, but they are more and more going here. And we want, when they ask that specific question, we want you to show up. That is completely possible. ChatGPT, Gemini, they are referencing real time content. They are large language models. That's what an LLM is, a large language model that is crawling text across the internet, all over the place, looking for the best answer for clients that are asking questions around tax and accounting work. So don't neglect this. Don't neglect building your site technically in such a way to position yourself to rank on AI. Some of this technical foundation, this slide I've got here, I don't want to tell you everything here and spend our whole hour. I just want to put before you, here's what we do. This is the plan. Page hierarchy, title tags, meta descriptions, internal leaking, FAQ schema, being really fast on mobile, crawlable pages. This is just 6 of dozens of things that we do. And if you don't do these things, you're going to be anonymous. Your website has 2 jobs. Get found and start conversations. I don't really care about everything else it does. And it can do more things. It can have your portal. It can have forms. It can have your practice management system. Whatever it is, that's great. It can have your AI intake stuff. That's great. But from a marketing visibility perspective, this is still what you need to do. The next thing your website needs to do, part 2 of our first area, is your website needs to start a conversation. So here's a real example. That's on the right-hand side, and we've got that red box around our survey. This right now is magic. I've got a guy in Indiana who will remain anonymous who had 17 leads from May 1st to yesterday. 17 leads fell out the survey on his side. And this is not his side. He's in Indy. This guy's in Phoenix that we're looking at. 17 people who 14 of them said they had a tax resolution issue. They didn't file for 23 or 24 or 25. They owe 150, 75, 40. My point in telling you this isn't to like woo-woo us. My point in telling you this is that the mistake CPAs, tax planners, preparers, bookkeepers, accountants are making is you don't realize how desperate people are to get help. When they're looking for an accountant, they are going to vet you. They do want the best. But if you look like the best and you ask the right question, you can get people to tell you a lot. How many of you are spending lots of time with a contact form submission? I've got their name, email, and I said, what do you need help with? And they just word vomited. And you've got to sort through that. You didn't ask the right question, or it's a phone call and it's just you doing discovery for 30 minutes to an hour. What if we could pre-qualify and vet your leads just by good web design and thoughtful approach with that marketing funnel? What if your marketing was a funnel and it wasn't just a website? What if your website was a part of a machine? It was a part of a method. What if it wasn't a standalone? What if your website was an asset and not a line item, an expense you pay every month, or something you built yourself 5 years ago? This is why we exist. It's not because you can't get a website for cheap. You can. But does it work? When you build a website properly that starts conversations, you will get found, and then you'll get people telling you, I haven't cleaned up my books. I'm stressed out. I need help with this right now. Here's my information. People need your guys' help. You guys are massively valuable. And especially in the macroeconomic moment we're in, inflation's high. People are freaked out. Less people are going to be paying their taxes. They're going to be filing extensions. They're buying time. And they are going to start to go to you guys. I think that that's going to be a big takeaway in the next couple of years. Just the cycle we're in. That's my guess. I'm not, Nostradamus. I'm not claiming to be prophetic. I'm just telling you, I think that what I'm seeing on the data for our clients is activity is picking up. More people are looking for professional help. That is happening. We see it in the data. And part of it is we're asking questions for the leads to get them on the journey. It's not rocket science, but again, it's different than having a group that says, we built your website. Here's our bill every month. It's different. This is massive. Let's keep going. Noah, this is a gal you talked with recently. I mentioned another person from Indiana. This is someone different. Tell us about what this individual told you over the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's fun when we get to jump on these calls, Christian, because we really get to learn, not just KPIs, not just seeing the data, but like how does this actually translate? And so this was a client that, we were doing some basic SEO services and I kept advising them saying, hey, we really need to bump up the website because the website carries so much ranking power in it. The website is such a huge component of this ecosystem that we're talking about. And we built the website just a couple of months ago, and in 2 months, she went from ranking for 0 keywords in the number one position to ranking for 9. That's huge, massive, massive growth. And same thing, keywords in the 2 to 5 position, which are still keywords that people are really going to look. She was ranking for 5 before. Like if you don't have your website built out, there's a difference. We're not getting into it quite yet, but there's what's called on-site SEO and off-site SEO. On-site SEO, the way your website's coded, all of these things Christian's talking about right now, that plays a huge factor in algorithmic ranking, in AI ranking, all of these different things. If your website is carbon copy, if it's template, if it's kind of cheap, it's not going to rank well. And so she went from ranking essentially in 2 months for 5 keywords on page one, but really low, kind of lower ranking for those keywords to ranking for 25 keywords. But how does this translate? Well, number one, we build a website that is ranking for her. Okay, that's huge. But as we talked about, you have to get visibility first and then convert. Her website converted 28 pre-qualified leads in 2 months.
Oh, sorry,
28
Noah.
leads in 2 months. And now you're not going to close every single lead. Like there's no expectation for anyone to have a 100% closing rate. But this client did close 8 leads. I know that this client, these are all monthly reoccurring revenue, bookkeeping, accounting, advisory, like that's what these leads are. I know this client. And, without disclosing too much, I know they have a starting monthly reoccurring revenue of $500 a month. Sometimes it's higher, but so we can, after talking with her, I know that she closed almost $50,000 of annual reoccurring revenue in 2 months just
Mm-hmm.
because she got her website positioned correctly. Throw a 1 in the chat if your website does this. Like, I'm really curious. If your website
Mm-hmm.
does this, great. If your website's not doing this, put a 0 in the chat because you are leaving a lot of potential revenue on the table if you're not doing this.
Yes. Let me speak to some questions that are coming up. And I think a lot of you might be thinking this. Hey, I've got a contact page. Does that count? Hey, I just rebuilt my website. Do I have to start over? We can work with existing sites in some circumstances, but usually we do rebuild websites. Again, it's very contextual. I need to know how your website was built. I need to know where it was built. Because if you're paying me, if you're a client of ours, I'm not trying to get salesy here, but there's other good agencies beside us. But if you're asking tactically, okay, what does this mean for me? Is a contact page enough? Do I have to redo my website? A contact page is not enough. This is not a contact page. This is the above the fold part of your website. So you guys remember newspapers? We all used to get them. Now we don't, most of us. That's the above the fold. Before you open up the newspaper and unfold it, what do you see? Top headline, right? Top headline of your website needs to do some serious lifting. It needs to do some serious lifting. Headline, conversion mechanism. That's what you're looking at here. That is different than a contact page. Your contact page can have this same survey. So these questions scroll, right? The questions go consecutively, and usually we ask between 4 to 7 questions, including name, email, phone number, all that basic info. But what we're trying to do is say, hey, lead, you're in the right place. I know what you need help with. So this is a website that's focused on businesses. Sometimes our first question is, do you owe the IRS money? Sometimes it's, do you have do you need help with individual tax work or business tax work or accounting work? We tailor these questions to our clients depending on what they want to target because not all of our clients are the same. We work with tax planners, tax resolution specialists, CPAs. And so with us as an agency, again, it's not a template. We build this ecosystem to ask your ideal leads, what do you need help with? And we know kind of what that is, right? And so that's where we're trying to like ask these questions in such a way to prompt real engagement. And that's what Noah's referencing. 28 people in 2 months. Just so you guys have a sense of ROI, that's a 31 to 1 ROI. So for spend, that's a 31x on spend to get 48,000 of ARR, annual recurring revenue, in 2 months. And that's just 2 months. And again, it's because we rebuilt her site. We got her to go to that level, and let's keep going. There's more to talk about, but websites are important. So if you want to engage more on websites, let's do it. But we got 3 other things to hit, and I've got 37 minutes. I want to use your time well. So there's a lot more there. And as you can tell, Noah and I are passionate about this. Forgive my French. We give a damn. If you work with us, it's got to work. And it will work because there's not a lack of leads. That's not your problem. If you're not getting found online, it's not because there's not people in your area that need help. It's just because you're not playing the game right. Marketing is a game. Let's play the game the right way. And unto that, Noah, let's talk about Google reviews, your Google business page. Let's go there next. Let me bring you on deck, buddy.
So the biggest thing with all of this is, Christian, we talked about how you have to rank first. You have to get visibility, you have to get seen. But the problem is, if you don't have trust and you don't have authority and you don't have credibility, people aren't going to click. So a lot of times people will say, hey, well, my website ranks really well. Well, yeah, but you don't have any trust. And so let me throw another question out to the masses. Put a 1 in the chat if you have claimed your Google business profile. Put a 0 in the chat if you don't have a Google business profile or you don't even know what that is. And if you're putting a 0 in, we need to talk. You also kind of want to think about, what is it that the Google profile is actually going to do for you? And there's a number of different things with this. Okay. Number one, your Google profile, it's about visibility, but it's also about trust. Okay. That's the whole thing behind this. It's one of the most directly relevant pages that someone's going to see when they do a keyword search. This has changed a little bit through the years. Again, historically, it was always advertising, Google profile, website section. That's always what we see. Now we see an AI search interspersed in there. That happened about 12 months ago or so, plus or minus. Mm-hmm. It's happened in about the last year that AI is really jumping in and taking over a lot of the search. But that doesn't mean that your Google profile doesn't matter. Now, if I can zoom out for a split second, we're talking about this concept now called off-site SEO, off-site search engine optimization. Do understand that off-site SEO is bigger than just Google. Google is the juggernaut. Google is king. We all know that. Okay, but there are other search engines that matter. I'm not talking about those today, but just know how you show up, your authoritativeness, your credibility, how all of those line up, your business name, phone number, address, that all builds credibility when your entire online ecosystem is built out correctly and it's built out to match. Okay, that builds trust within the algorithm. But when people search for CPA online, they're going to be looking at your Google profile. This is where most people go because it's the most visible place for your business to show up. But they're not just looking for who shows up first, because look at here, 3 different people show up in this search. And the next relevant thing that people are going to look at, prospects are going to look at, are Google reviews. And if you look at this and you can see here, one person has 36 Google reviews, one has 83, and one has 9. And now we could theorize who people may reach out to first. Maybe you reach out to DM Tax first because they ranked first. Maybe you reach out to Dominant Consulting first because they have 83 5-star reviews. But I think we can also say, but it's much less compelling for this third one down the list that only has 9 reviews when you're cross-compared to these people who have 83 and 36 reviews. The reviews matter massively. And they really come into play when it gets into that second step that we've been talking about conversion. You have to rank first. That's it. But which firm are you going to choose when you're looking at someone who has 300 reviews versus 1 review versus 3 reviews?
Right.
We all know who we're going to go with.
These are real examples. And this is the psychology of the moment we're in with digital marketing. Is getting visible is the first step. But as we talked about at the beginning, the next phase of the marketing journey with your prospects is building trust before they ever talk to you. Reviews and your website and case studies and examples and maybe seeing your face, having good content. It's not just reviews, but I will tell you that without good reviews, your marketing and ads are not going to perform as well. So we do account management with our clients to help them monthly. Remember, you've done the hard part. You've got happy clients. That's the hard part. Getting reviews is not easy. It's a process. There's a campaign. There's a follow-up. There's stuff there. But the hard part is having happy clients. So like O'Connor, Maloney, or Joel B. Shaw, I'm not picking on you if you're here or if you see this, but I guarantee you those groups have more than 1 or 3 clients that are happy. They're just not good at asking. And they've probably grown by referrals, and they probably have an okay business. But when it comes to getting better clients, showing up for the searches you want, showing up in AI, yeah, this matters. This matters. So again, this is back to like the journey. Let's get on page 1, let's get visible, and then let's build trust. So there is more to building trust than this, but this is a huge component, even for your paid ads. We'll talk about that in a second. But Noah, let you keep going.
Yeah, Christian. Yeah, Christian, you bring up a really good point with this, because the reason people don't get reviews and the reason businesses don't get reviews is not because your clients hate you. Okay, that's really not. It's because number one, you don't ask. Oh, but Noah, after we send out their tax return, they get an email saying, please leave us a review. Okay, it's a passive ask. All right. I'm not saying don't do it. It's valid. It's just there's not any sense of urgency, any sense of relationship, and any immediate next step to get for someone to leave you a review. And I think we are all guilty when we say we use reviews all the time. If you go to a city or you're looking for a restaurant or a coffee shop or an electrician, I don't care what it is, odds are you probably look for Google reviews to vet who you're going to work with. But I could also say probably pretty accurately, most people don't leave reviews consistently. My wife likes to poke fun at me a little bit because I'm constantly leaving reviews for restaurants or, people who we do business with or like anywhere we go, because I'm in the industry. I know how much that review means to that business. I know how much that review is going to affect other people finding it. So if I find a good business that I like, I'm going to leave them a 5-star review. So yeah, ask them after the return is filed, after you solve a problem, after a meeting, a review, or a quarterly wrap up. But you need to have an immediate next step. You need to have a QR code. You need to have a way of asking them. You need to have something that is going to get them to take the next step as soon as possible. And so like, here's a really good example. You're on the meeting, you're on a Zoom call with a client, and you say, hey, client, so glad we're getting to work with you. Really enjoy getting to do this. Glad we solved XYZ problem. You flash up a QR code on the screen. If you're meeting with them in person, you say, hey, we've got this QR code right here. We really value hearing from our clients, hearing the good things you have to say. If you wouldn't mind, could you take about 30 seconds and leave us a 5-star Google review? It really would mean a lot to us and to hear back from you. Odds are much more likely that they're going to leave you a review with that strategy than if you say, hey, I'm going to shoot you an email. Could you leave us a Google review? Because we all get 100 emails every single day. We get so many emails every single day, and those just get buried. People get busy. Yeah. So a review campaign with emails, we still do it. We do post-tax season email review campaigns. We do all these different things, but you're just going to see a lower conversion rate versus if you train yourself, if you train your staff, if you get buy-in to get immediate asking, you're going to get a lot of really great traction. And Christian, go ahead a couple of slides, because we've got a little bit of data of what this actually looks like for our clients. Here's a client. We did a 5-month review campaign for them. Okay. They came to us and they started with 6 reviews. Really not much traction, really where most businesses are. And we did a lot of different strategies. Again, you don't get up to 80 Google reviews in a month. This takes time. This takes strategy. But we implemented a lot of different strategies, automations, different ways to ask, coaching their team. And this client went from 6 reviews to over 70 reviews in 5 months. And now this client, this is current data, this client is up over 80 Google reviews right now. But that directly affects your keyword ranking. If you go on to the next one, Chris, we get to see what this actually does, because this is what it's all about. Again, go back to the basics. You have to get traction first. You have to get ranking. You have to get seen. If you don't get seen, if you don't show up in search, it doesn't matter. And this client back in April was ranking for nothing. Okay, this is when they started with us. They had 6 Google reviews. We built their website, built out their SEO, did all of these things. And look at what happened right around the middle of June when the reviews really started taking off. Their keyword ranking skyrocketed. That dark green and that medium green, those are keywords ranking in the number 1 or the number 2 to 5 position. And they went from ranking for 6 keywords on page 1 to ranking for over 70 keywords. This is not by accident. This doesn't, like, you don't accidentally rank in Google. You show up because of strategy, because of authority. You show up because of all of the things. But when you put these things into place, really good things happen. And that's when you start actually closing clients. Here's another one of our clients. They have over 100 Google reviews. They're ranking number 1, but look at the authority that is in this review that this client is actually sharing. This is live data. This is what our clients are getting. Christian, you look like you have something on your mind.
No, this is it. I mean, I think the content of reviews, guys, also matters, and that's something we're trying to highlight by showing you real reviews for some of our real clients. This is a local guide for one. You can't control that, but that helps. So this guy's got authority in Google's ecosystem because he's left other reviews. But the richness of this content, it's similar to your website, right? The content on your website makes a difference with how you rank. The content in your reviews can also make a difference with how you rank. And so you guys might be sitting here thinking, okay, I'll just get some 5-star reviews. This is where, as a company, we go into account management with our clients to teach and coach and train text campaign, email campaign, QR code, over the phone, over Zoom, doesn't matter. We will help you get reviews and coach you how to get the best reviews so that we can get these content-rich reviews that Google loves. This will help them rank for all of the things that this guy's talking about. Because this is, again, even back to AI, reviews are actually impactful. How you rank on Google, reviews are impactful. Your ranking is impacted by reviews. It's a huge thing, but it's again, not, if it was easy, you'd be doing it. For us, we're obsessed about it, right? This is a huge thing for us. Again, this is one of like 6 areas we manage. This is not the only thing we do. We are a performance-oriented marketing agency. We think about the whole picture. But if you are a client of ours and you're not getting reviews, we're going to hound you. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to bug you. We're going to kind of be annoying because we know what happens when we get there. Because again, numbers don't lie. Tax prep down at the bottom of the page, 342 reviews. The group at the top's got 18. It's a dogfight on page 1, guys. It's a dogfight. It's not a given. Just because you get here, you're going to get all of the leads. Probably all 3 of these groups are getting some leads, but the group at the bottom with 300 plus reviews is probably cleaning up, right? So we'll come more to that later. Let's do poll question 2. We're running a little behind. I'll speed up to the next section. Let me launch number 2 here. It's coming at you. Do you have a system for getting reviews? Hit it on the head. No, but I want one. No, but I need one. Yes, but it's not great. Or yes, I've got a flood of new reviews. Okay. Answer honestly. Give me your feedback. I'm only going to keep this up for a second because I want to keep moving. I want to use your guys' time well. I want to add a lot of value. I want this to be a dynamic conversation. I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds. So if you want to answer, let's talk about it. Only a couple of you so far. I'm seeing 20%. I get a flood of reviews. Awesome. The rest of you, 80%, are not. You're not getting reviews. This is not the sum total of marketing. This is a thing. It's a big thing. We're going to move on to the next item. I'm going to end the poll in 3, 2, 1. Quickly share the results. And again, 20% of you, you're doing great. 80% of you, we need to work on this. And you do need help. I think from a marketing standpoint, one of the biggest things we bring to the table, and again, we're not the only ones, but in our space, we are one of the only ones. There's lots of good agencies out there, but in our industry, I want to keep our clients accountable for the things that we know will make a difference. That is something with us that you will get. Okay, let's keep going. Paid ads, totally different conversation. Paying for leads, how to effectively run them and target your ideal client. Here's something that happens with ads that you can't do with the 2 things we just talked about. Target any location you want. I'm going to say it again. Ranking on Google, ranking for your Google business page, ranking your website, that's going to usually be a locally focused rank. And everyone here says, Christian, I can serve people across the country. And I say, I get it. But Google sees you guys like they see a local business, a plumber, an electrician, a restaurant, a CPA. I'm in Kansas City. If I do a search for CPA near me, I'm going to see Kansas City CPAs unless someone's advertising. You can advertise to show up in different locations. You can advertise to target specific services that you want to push. You can advertise to reach certain prospects for higher value services. It gives you a proactive ability to go and get people. On the right-hand side is a real example of an ad we've done. I'll give you more and I'll give you case studies as we go forward, but advertising is a tool. The ad is a big tool. Advertising on Google in particular is something we found a ton of success with. And here's what you need to make it convert. Again, it's not just running the ads, it's the whole thing. So you need to have a clear focus for the ad itself. What are you targeting? Do not have an advertising group or have yourself launch ads and do what's called broad match keyword. Broad match keyword from an advertising perspective basically says, hey, Google, I'm an accountant. Pick searches that you think are appropriate. It's not what you want. You want an ad that's targeting the right keywords and also eliminating the wrong ones. That's called a negative keyword list. What keywords do you not want to show up for? Free tax services, cheap accounting services, the IRS or state or city tax offices. We don't want to show up for things that are not relevant to you. We want to focus on a clear service that you're targeting. And then on the landing page here, here's a group that is crushing it. This guy, he is probably going to hit this goal, but I met with him in March of 26, might have been April. I think it was March. And he wants to get 5 million of new revenue, not total revenue, 5 million of new revenue this year. And a lot of it is coming through ads. And it looks like this. Tell me more about income tax strategy, business tax strategy, or both. And then we go on, and the different ad pages we build for him for the different services we're targeting, they're different. So if we're doing a tax representation campaign, it would look different. And then we need to add trust on the page. We need to do follow-up. We need to get this in a sales system. We need to email nurture these leads. These are all things we are doing. We are putting the leads in a pipeline for him to go and hunt so he knows where his leads live. Put a 1 in the chat. This is a fun one. Put a 1 in the chat if you know where your leads are. Do you have a pipeline? Do you have a CRM? Is it your email inbox? Is it your text inbox? Is it some sticky pad or notepad? I've seen it all. And it's okay. Do you have a place for your leads to live that you can go find right now from the last 3 to 6 months? The people that closed or that didn't close. If you don't, it's fixable. It's so fixable. We can do it. But ads is going to work really well if we put these things in place. If you run ads but don't fix a weak marketing ecosystem, ads are going to actually expose your systems. So I don't like running ads for people without marketing, not because I want to upsell you, but because I want it to work. If you run ads with me and we don't have the website, if we don't do review generation, if we don't do emails, if we don't have a sales system, it can still work. It just probably won't work as well. When marketing's in place, you have great reviews, you have the website. When you have all these things and you've got then ads, it can be gangbusters. And it doesn't have to be like 1,000 new clients tomorrow. It can just be, again, I've got a gal that right now she's talking about signing up with us and she wants 15 good clients by the end of the year. Let's run ads for a few months once we get the marketing ecosystem in place and then turn it off. You don't have to run ads all year long, but if marketing is fixed, if your marketing fundamentals are good, ads can give you speed. But I like to put things in the right order, right? Let's make sure marketing as a foundation is in place and then do ads. We do ads as a standalone service at times for people. We will do that, just full transparency, but we will always tell people, hey, here's the trade-offs, right? You're not investing in marketing, so you're saving some dollars, but in the long run, our clients who do marketing plus ads, they just get better results. So prospects from an ads perspective are still going to look at your overall ecosystem. They're going to look at reviews. They're going to look at your site. They're going to try and vet you, right? And so the ad is important, but we want to make sure you're trustworthy across the board. After clicking, prospects are going to go all over the place to try and figure out what's true about you. And so that's back to why marketing is so important. Here's a couple of case studies. This is the fun stuff, right? So it's been theory. This is awesome. So this is March 1st to June 8th. We pulled this data and wanted to drop it in. So it's, relevant. 1,300 clicks. Okay, a click isn't a lead, but a click is good. Out of those clicks, 147 conversions. That's an 11% conversion rate from clicks to conversions. What is a conversion? A conversion is a phone call or it's a survey that's filled up. $80 for a lead. Would you spend $80 to get on the phone with someone that might spend $1,000 a month with you, $400 a month with you, $700 a month with you? If you're good at sales and you have the systems to follow up and engage with the leads and you look the part, I think a lot of you would give me $80 to get, let's say 10, $800, 10 leads at $80 for the next month. Would you gamble on yourself that you could close half of them? Let's keep going. Here's another client, tax resolution, 212 clicks, same time period. This is March 30th, so it's actually a little bit less time. 212 clicks, 66 conversions. That's a 6.5% click-through rate and a 31% conversion rate. So from clicks to conversions, 31% of clicks are actually turning into a phone call at a $53 cost per conversion. We are really, really, really good at ads. Let's keep going. One more. Here is another one that's pretty recent. 73 conversions off of 500 clicks. 73 phone calls or surveys, $44 cost per conversion. Typically, your benchmark with ads is $100 cost per lead. We are showing 3 examples where we are well below that. And then it's up to you to close them. But they're in a pipeline. You can find them. You can see the leads. They are there. I've got 15 minutes and I got one section to go. I'm going to go do poll question number 3. It's coming your way. And it's on advertising. Google, Facebook, Dave Ramsey's ELP, Thumbtack. Have you ever run ads? And I would even want to ask, maybe a follow-up, like, did it work? Some of you are going to say, no, I'm open to it. No, I don't want to. Yes, and it didn't give me the clients I want. I think a lot of people have tried ads and not many have gotten that last option. Yes, and I got a bunch of new clients. And do you know why? Just like with marketing and website building, there's a lot of cheap advertising services that are not focused on our niche. They don't actually know what you want. They're a generalist ad agency. They don't know how to serve you. So I'm going to close this poll here. If you want to get your answer in, you got 5 seconds. But this is to help you guys think through, I've never done ads. I'm afraid of it. Or I did and it didn't work. I get that all the time. So let's end this poll and show the results. What's funny is no one that answered has done ads and gotten an influx of new leads. About half of you have tried ads and it didn't work. That's not because ads don't work. That's not the problem. The problem is your marketing ecosystem. You did ads in a vacuum. You did it by itself without marketing being fixed, or the guy just didn't know what he was doing, or the gal didn't know what she was doing. I hate it, but that's common. Let's keep going. I want to end us on time. I've got 13 minutes and I've got one section to go. So we're actually, Noah, we're doing well. But you and I, Noah, let's tackle email. I'll kick us off and I'll pull you in. Email marketing is the thing you don't know you need. Email marketing to us is not a newsletter. Email marketing to us is not like some template branded random thing that no one wants to read. Email marketing to us is first person, relationally oriented strategy content. And it's really important to get out to existing leads and your current clients, right? Your current client base is the first group you're going to experience results from an email marketing perspective. Why? They're warm. They want to hear from you. This can help you upsell, cross-sell them. This can help you build trust. When you get a client, let's keep them. I want to keep you in front of your happy clients year round. We produce emails with a business orientation, an individual tax, prep and planning orientation, and then a tax representation orientation. So 3 tracks of emails: business owners, individuals, and people that need help with the IRS or state taxes. They're a tax resolution case of some type. We write that weekly. We want to do that so that you stay in front of and relevant to your clients. One thing that I want to name that all of this does, not just email, but all of this, including email marketing, this makes your firm so much more valuable. If you ever want to sell your practice or pass it on as a legacy, if you're the only reason you get leads because of your good name and a referral, that business is not as valuable. Do you know what is valuable? I'm getting found on Google. I'm running ads. I don't have to be the face of the business to grow it. And I'm following up with my people regularly. I've got a system. So your current clients is who we want to go after first. And yes, we want to warm up and nurture new leads, but it is more expensive to acquire a new client than to get an existing client to either stick with you or to get more revenue from them. So if you guys are dealing with, or if you've ever seen it, high cancellations or just people that left that shouldn't, it's not because you did a bad job. It's because people think you didn't care. Noah, let me bring you on for this because I want to let you riff on email a little bit.
So, number one, your clients aren't going to leave you because they hate you. Typically, I mean, hopefully. The reason a client is going to leave you is what we call perceived indifference. They don't hear from you throughout the course of the year and when it really matters. So and let's kind of bring this full circle, while yes, it matters to rank, have to do that first. Yes, it matters to convert. You have to do that to get new business and to grow revenue. But if you're not talking to your clients, there's not loyalty that's being built. There's not relationship that's being built. And what typically happens is you have a higher attrition rate. You lose more clients. The email list is the place where you can show up in front of them with exactly what you want to say to nurture them. And that's why I say most email marketing, it gets low open rates because it's just kind of generic. It's kind of tacky. It kind of doesn't do much. Let's jump to the next slide, Christian, because what we're talking about and the different things we talk about are topics that are going to actually matter to your clients. Changes in the tax laws, deadlines, changes, things going on in the IRS. Obviously, last year, ton of different stuff on like the one big beautiful bill and like all of these different things that were constantly changing and happening. But when you show up in front of your clients with real world information, written in a relational style that it sounds like you're just having a conversation with them, this is the kind of information that they actually read. And we're going to show some of our open rates that we have on here, but this is what actually gets people to click. Good emails aren't confusing. Good emails are timely. They explain. They really hit people with practical issues. Okay, here's one that we had about the tariff refund claim. Like, this is stuff that is really going to get your clients to pay attention to what you're doing, not just in tax season. Because if your strategy with communicating with your clients is, I'm going to send them an email in the first week of January that says, hey, schedule your appointment with me and make sure you get your tax organizer filled out. Well, odds are pretty high that they will have already gone somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to fill in on that, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, guys, we have found time and time again, most people that sign up with us are like, I don't think my clients want to hear from me that much. And you just don't see yourself clearly. Not 100% of people will open the email and love it. It's a numbers game. Most will. Most want to hear from the accountant or tax professional that they're paying to help them. They want to hear from you. They care about what you think. And so we are really good, and we have a team of people. This is not AI. This is a group of humans that are very, very good at blending expertise with relationship, and you will feel it. You will notice it. Your clients may bring it up if you stop sending it. Like when our clients get really busy and they just forget to send an email for a month, they've told us before, people are asking like, where's those notes? Where's those strategy notes? Like, what's going on? It's longer form. There's a reason we do it the way we do it, but it's because it statistically has proven to be the best way to email. If you trust someone, you can actually email more than once a week. We only do once a week, but the data shows you can email multiple times a week if you are adding value and you are someone that a client, a customer, a lead wants to hear from. We see that with some of the news articles or some of the email newsletters, such as, why am I blanking on it? The Morning Brew, right? The Morning Brew is an email newsletter that sends out a daily thing, but there's a ton of value in it. Obviously, all major publications send out emails, and it's just one of those things that if you've never done it, I get it if there's skepticism, but we don't do this to waste time and just, throw something at the wall. We do this because relational-oriented email is going to do wonders for your business in terms of retention, cross-sell, upsell, and engagement with leads. AI is going to make it a lot easier to send out email newsletters and email content, but I'm telling you right now, don't do it. AI slop is what we're going to call it. It sounds like generic advice, no client context, no real examples. Every other firm is going to be doing it. That's just going to try and be gimmicky. It is still important that you write content that's worth reading on your site, in your social media, in email. Real conversations. AI is just not quite there yet. AI is not there, and I don't think it'll ever fully be there. It can do a lot. AI is powerful. We use AI for some things, but we are very intentional to let humans write content, and that is a unique thing for us, and it really makes a difference. It helps you be clear and practical and build a human connection. In the world of AI slop that's out there, email can help you be more human. I want you to be more human. I want you to be more relationally normal. Yes, AI can crank out this, that, and the other, but it just doesn't necessarily do anything. So from a performance standpoint, that's what I care about. I care about what drives results. Okay, so communication has to be consistent, and then we're going to move forward. But here's the big thing. Trust is earned in spoonfuls and lost in bucketfuls. Email, when it's done consistently and you're sending it out, is a spoonful of trust every week. It will insulate your client list from going elsewhere to go into some cheaper provider who's maybe going to compete with you with AI optimized, practices and pricing and whatever. You will keep your people more if you can stay in front of them with good content. That is just true. So here's some email open rates. Bigger tax funds this year. Average open rates across all of our clients, 60%. What do you need to file for your taxes in 26? 58%. How to not miss deductions. The list goes on. Commonly over 50% with an average click-through rate of 5 to 10% for our clients. That's why we do this. And this is, again, one of the secret weapons. So put a 1 in the chat. Are you guys doing any email marketing? Maybe this is a poll question, so maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's go ahead and do both. Are you doing any email marketing right now for your audience, for your list? I'm curious to hear, but let's keep going. So here's some case studies, or here's some proof from us. Here's real 5-star reviews we got. One of the standout services has been their weekly marketing campaigns. The content is high quality, professionally written, and occasionally humorous. It definitely is not written by AI. These weekly emails keep us top of mind with both current and prospective clients. If you're looking for a CPA, if you're a CPA firm looking for long-term growth through SEO, email, strategic digital marketing, I highly recommend TPM. And then this other one, TPM helped me establish a weekly email that I consistently receive positive feedback from my clients on. It's unexpected most of the time, and that's okay. That's our job. Our job is to do the things that are really going to work. All of the emails are vetted by you before they're sent. We won't send anything without you. But let's keep moving. I'm going to do poll question number 4 real briefly, and then let's get out of here on time. So here we go. Do you need help growing your revenue outside of tax season in these areas we've discussed? Your website, your Google page, your email, your ads. Yes, no, maybe later. Let's just have an honest conversation here. What are you looking for the rest of the year? And again, revenue growth doesn't have to be 5 million in new revenue. It can be just 10 good clients by the end of the year. I don't really care how you answer this, but I just want to hear from you. What is your goal? Do you want to grow revenue? And do you want to build a pipeline of better fit prospects and clients so that your business is healthy and scaling? You don't have to scale to the moon, but there's a lot of people in our space who would probably say, yeah, if you brought me better clients and a system and I didn't have to worry about it, that's incredible. And I would love to get some help with that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this here. If you want to answer, you've got 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're ending the end of our presentation. And you know you probably need help with some of this. But the question is it getting done? Is anyone responsible to make your website as awesome as we've talked about today, to help you with reviews, to help with paid ads, to help write your emails? Is there anyone to help you execute consistently, professionally, driving revenue and thinking about your business's growth alongside with you? That's what we tried to give you today, is the knowledge to do it, but I want to help actually execute. I want to help you get this done. Digital marketing takes time and expertise. And I don't think you can do everything we talked about today and serve your clients and run your business, run your team, do all the things I know you need to do. You can't scale your firm if you're the lead marketer of your business. At some point, this is a thing you need to delegate. This is something you need to pass on to someone else. You need a team to get behind you to get the work done. For us, these are just a couple of people you get when you work with us. You get a marketing strategist, a content writer, an SEO specialist, a paid ads manager, a web developer, and an account manager. You get a dedicated team of experts that you're regularly meeting with or getting served by. You get an entire team with TaxProMarketer of humans who are leveraging the best tactics and strategies to help you actually get to your goals, whatever those may be. So here's some real results from our case studies page. TPM took us from nothing to where we are now, from 0 new leads to 50 every month. I have more clients than I can handle, and that's amazing. And then this last one, we've had huge, big growth with our relationship-oriented marketing.